Okay, time for a feature that I might like about the 14. Okay, I really like it. That there's this glass that I can see the hitch really easily. There's another feature we'll get to that I like and I don't like. As we come around back here, the feature that I like and I don't like, okay, let's start with what I don't like, is the drawbar that's multi-piece with, you know, the heavy bar inside this tube, which I've heard horror stories, depending upon what's here to stabilize it, that they break off. Or they'll wear through and then break off. So, but what is nice about that is there's this pin here that I can pull to then slide. Okay, I was sliding it, the drawbar in and out. So since I only have myself at the moment, Dad's busy in the greenhouse, and I can pull the drawbar back if this pin isn't in the hole. I can pull it back, so now I'm lined up. I can drop this pin, and then hopefully, carefully, gently back the tractor up, and that pin will fall through. And that's how you hook up the disc by yourself. Or that I'd have to get a piece of string and pull it from the cab to try to get the little clevis here in the right spot. So let's see if I can gently back up real quick. I wouldn't say that was gentle, but close enough. Voila, we're in. Well, we're all hooked up. I got the hydraulic hoses ready to go. All the pins are in. Time to lift it up. And I didn't flip. Man, I do this all the time. I guess this is convenient too, that I didn't flip the levers for the hydraulics. That bottom one's gonna be a real doozy to reach from the cab. Let's see if I can make this happen. Without falling off the back of the cab. Whew! That was a monkey moment. So yep, we're hooked up to the Ford disc because I think our 470, and not that it took us all season to figure it out, but after a few passes or a few acres, I realized that the angle of the back two gangs was too aggressive. It was leaving a ridge. So we're going to make it a little less aggressive with the newer blades. Not so steep of an angle, so we'll throw the dirt into a ridge down the middle. Oh, that drove me nuts. But yeah, so we got to take care of that, but we got to get sweet corn in before it rains. Well, today's Tuesday, May 1st, so I think it's supposed to rain Thursday. So we're going to go get this done with the Ford disc. It worked great, not as quick, but we're only tilling up a couple acres. So what's a pass or two, a time difference? Well, we'll see you out in the field. Number one rule of disking, if you're not fast, you're last. Wasn't that exhilarating? Okay, the great part about this disc, it's got its own block. No, but if we don't have this block, the hitch falls to the ground, then you really can't pick it up and do anything very easily. Looks like a little bit of play there that we should be able to pull the pin out. This went smooth enough, I guess. Flip the levers, and always do the bottom one first. You don't get oil all over yourself. Okay, a little note as we swing around here. Looks like that valve is leaking. I haven't seen an 06 through 66 that doesn't have that leak there at some point. So I gotta get in there and figure out what's not holding the oil in. Okay, well, time for anhydrous. Something tells me the wind's making this video terrible. It is rather blustery. Well, here we go on our first pass of sweet corn. First time out with the planter. May 2nd, Wednesday evening. Yeah, it's a little damp right here. Tried to pick the driest spot. This is the only wet spot to this whole section. Let's see what's going on back here. Kind of a little experiment we're trying. We've got pelletized lime in the insecticide boxes. And it's dropping out. That's good. Hopefully you can see that. Coming out right before the closing wheel. Next biggest thing to see is to make sure we're getting fertilizer coming out, which I don't know if you can see in there, but it's at least making it in the tube. And the tube's not packed yet, so it's got to be dropping. Let's see, looks like we're all getting a little bit of lime to drop. Imagine our seed's doing just fine. But just the first time out, check, make sure everything's working. Well, now that we've almost planted half a row, I guess we'll jump off and do a depth check. It's still set from last year, so it might be a little deep. We might want to make it shallower since it's so early. And this soil is none too warm. The trick is finding a seed carefully. And we're digging. Yeah, found a seed. We're maybe an inch down. If that. I mean, don't need to be too super deep. Moisture's not going to be our problem right now, unfortunately.
But warmth is. If it gets too deep.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Keep it shallow. Now that one's okay. That one was pretty shallow too. We're gonna have to go too deep for that one.
As long as it's good for an inch, or better.
Yeah, as long as they're covered, because we've got good chances of rain the next week.
We're not going to have 90-degree weather.
No.
To dry it out fast.
No. Who needs a monitoring system when you just jump off the tractor and, you know, take a check, make sure. Monitor isn't going to tell you how deep it's going. It's just going to tell you whether you're dropping seed. And then if it ever plugs up, you know, eventually you won't be dropping seed because it'll get plugged up to the monitoring sensor. So yep, we've bypassed. There is nothing electrical left on this thing. I guess we'll get into that right now. If we're going to come up and look, I'm sure I highlighted this last year and every year for all those people with 800 planters. Sequence valve. Get rid of the solenoids and the electronic junk. And you know, you gotta trust it's dropping seed. It's a plate planter, so there's nothing to suck or blow or whatever it does. It did not work. Dad came out here earlier and rototilled. You saw the 2 passes of the disc yesterday. We let it dry a little bit because you can see there's still plenty of moisture. And Dad knifed the anhydrous. He saw that. Dad rototilled it. We were going to use the new Howard Monster I bought. That's going to be a whole nother catastrophe video. Ooh. Whoa. Well, who knows how long the rows are. We're just going to keep planting forever. We usually stop at that crooked oak tree over there. And what do you line that up with? I think we went like 20 feet too far. I need to figure out what tree marker over there we use. I'm not sure. And I know we're somewhere down in the dip usually because it rolls off before we get to that oak tree in the middle. And I'm sure we're a good 20 foot too long. And we'll figure that out, say, after we plant the next 2 or 3 varieties that were plenty long. Are we doing it right, Shiloh, huh? Yeah. I know, there's no place for you to ride on this tractor. But how'd you like to ride the new truck the other day? Yeah, you got to go get fertilizer. We need to fix that marker. As you can see, it bent. It bent past this stop, so it goes and folds up too high. Then it won't fold down. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, it's off to the races. Now someone's going to say we increase our chances of plugging the planter tubes. Yeah, well, that's why we let it dry a little bit on top. Most of the time when I'm planting field corn, I'll keep it moving. I think that pelletized lime has a little bit of a smell to it, because I keep smelling it. Let's see how we're doing on our level. It's going down a little bit. We have them, I don't know, it goes to at least 10. I have them at 8 right now. I'm just kind of guessing, trying to put lime in the row where we need it, instead of spread across the field and doing that once every 7 to 10 years at best. It's a little more costly for the lime. However, like I said, it's right at near the plant where we're going to need it. And you make the little investment every year instead of just the big investment of lime, whatever. Like I said, 7 to 10 years, a decade, maybe more often. The problem is people spread lime when you want to get the good lime from the power plants, not the stuff out of the quarries. The lime that'll go through a smaller mesh screen that'll be available within our lifetime. That's hard to get, because that's liquid. And to find somebody who wants to mess with, only doing, say, 200 acres for us in small fields, they want to do big areas, and they want easy access. Well, that's 2 things we don't have. Let's see. I think we're going to plant 3 varieties, 2 bicolors and a white. Sweet Rhythm is on the list. Sweet Chorus. Ooh, maybe that's Espresso. I don't remember. And Argent. Sweet Rhythm will pull through anything. The other 2, I'm a little wary about why Dad went with the Argent so early. Sometimes it has issues. It used to be real strong, but the breeding on it must have fallen off the last couple of years. And the other bicolor is supposed to be a quick, shorter season to get us going to have corn, let's say, second week of July. Yep, that's a wee bit of a drop-off. We are on our 3rd variety. We planted Sweet Rhythm, then the Argent, which is white. And after reading the bag and trading seed, figured out, or now I know, that this last variety is called Espresso. Now, according to the manufacturer, or the seed company, they don't manufacture, they grow it. There's no making, they just put seed in the ground, keep track of genetics. That this variety is not recommended for late season. It doesn't like the heat. So if we planted this a little later, I mean, we could have planted it 2 weeks from now and probably still been okay. It would have been finishing up when it's hot. But if it's something we would say plant in, I don't know, some of the plantings in June, it wouldn't like that so much. It'd get too hot on it in July and August when the plant's a little smaller, trying to pollinate. and we might have issues with too much heat and they're not pollinating well, or just downright not growing. So we're going to plant a really big patch. Typically when we're in the backfield here, we do 8-row patches, but for some reason we planted 12 rows of Argent, and we're going to plant 16 rows of Espresso, which, since it supposedly does better in cooler weather, hopefully, we're going to plant a lot of it. So yeah, we're finishing up finally here, as it's getting dark and the lights are on. I don't know if I've ever planted much sweet corn before 5 o'clock. It just never seems to work out to be an early morning thing, because it's just barely getting dry enough, so we're getting out there in the morning, doing a little bit of tillage, letting it dry a couple hours. We got to change the planter over usually from sweet corn to field corn, which we still had to do that today. Pick out the seed, find the plates, and when we're doing 5 varieties, yeah, we got to stop every 8 rows and go down and back and change plates. There should be a video later on about changing plates and more of the varieties of sweet corn as we get to them. But don't wanna make everything fun all at once. We gotta make it last. So we'll see you guys later. Happy farming. Hopefully somebody's getting something planted. It's not too wet.